get a goal, get a plan, put in the effort, be super consistent, and then have some external accountability. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Optimal Alpha podcast. My name's Andy Naylor. I am founder and CEO of Naylor Body Design and host of the Optimal Alpha podcast. So no standing on ceremony around here. We're going to get straight into it. Now, I've been coaching people all around the world to get into the best shape of their life, both physically, both mentally, sometimes even emotionally, certainly, in terms of their health and longevity. And there are always similar patterns and traits of where people struggle, fail, and just don't seem to get the most of the opportunity that's in front of them. They always seem to come up, and that's what we're going to cover today. We're going to go over the 5 biggest mistakes that I see people making on their fitness journey. But those are then the 5 biggest mistakes, but then they are also therefore the 5 biggest areas of opportunity. And today we're going to go over them in a sense of a sort of overview. And then in subsequent episodes, we'll probably delve much deeper into these. So the 5 areas: goals, planning, effort, consistency, accountability. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but oh my goodness, areas that people are not maximizing. So let's go off and start to delve into these individually. Everything's going to start with a goal. If we don't have a thing that we want to go after, then everything after it is completely pointless. There has to be a goal. No goal is then going to equal nothing taking place afterwards. Not having a goal is also, like, imagine this for an analogy. You sail a ship out of a harbor, you have no destination, no map, and no compass. Where are you going? Absolutely nowhere. You're going to go out of the harbor and you are simply going to sail around, at best in circles, getting nowhere. There has to be a destination. So for you, a goal, what is it? Something that people do very well here is create fluffy goals, untangible goals. A goal that if it was missed, you couldn't actually say, I failed. Humans don't like to feel that they've failed. That's fine, right? We all understand that. But it's far better to have a laser-focused goal that is precise as you can get it, that has metrics that you could manage to know, are you making progress? So you know when you've arrived at the destination. I want to lose weight. I want to feel better. I want to have more confidence. Those are fine and there's nothing wrong with them, but are they tangible? How do you measure feel better? How do you measure more confidence? What could you do and how could you mark these or score these or rate these in a way that would then allow you to go, I am at a 5 in my confidence. Okay, now I'm at a 7. It's a very hard thing to do because it's an emotive thing, but still better doing that than, do I feel better than I did last week? Not really sure, because then everything else after the goal will start to fall apart. So the goal will also tie into your why. We will cover the why again a little bit later, but the goal is your why. I want to achieve this thing because of these reasons, because of this pain, because of this desire, because of this need. Your goal should be something that you will be able to fully understand and hold close to you because it means something to you. So step 1, get a clear, laser-focused, tangible goal. Okay, step 2, you need a plan. A goal without a plan is a dream. It's a wish. It ain't gonna happen. So you have your goal, you have your destination, and now you need to layer on top of it a plan. Okay, not just a wish that I'm going to become this person, this thing, get into this place, feel this way in a certain amount of time. Like a plan. A plan is something that you could write down and you could teach it to somebody else. If you could not explain how you're going to get to your goal to someone else specifically, you have no plan. For example, I speak to maybe 8 or 9 potential clients potentially looking to come into our program every single day, and I will always ask them, do you feel that you have a clear nutritional plan right now to get you to the goal? And a lot of them are like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, okay, but you weren't really able to tell me the foods that you're eating every day, and you certainly can't now tell me what your macros and calories are and why you're, yeah, I'm not tracking my macros and calories and things like that. I'm like, okay, so if you haven't got control of everything, you don't have a plan. You're just eating healthy and hoping for the best. You're going to the gym, training, ticking a box, and hoping for the best. A plan is a set of repeatable actions that, with some adjustment along the way, will get you from where you are now to the goal that you want to get to. It should be something that you can track. It should be something that you can record. A plan is a thing that is workable. It can be adapted and changed, but it should be a clear, nearly a timeline, but certainly an actionable set of events that are going to take you to where you want to go. Certainly start to head you in the right direction, and then you adjust the plan as you go. With no plan, the goal is a wish. Now, we get to the next area, which is effort. Actual effort, grit. A lot of people can get these first two parts of, I have a goal, I have a plan. And then they are not willing to truly put in the grind, to actually do it, to do the damn work. Or people are able to put in effort for a very short amount of time. And then that short amount of time doesn't yield big enough results. And guess what happens? The effort starts to dwindle. Then the results definitely start to dwindle. And then it's game over once again. The effort is the desire to want to achieve the goal by using the plan. The effort really does tie into your why. Ask yourself, why do you want to do this thing? Ask yourself why. Write down the answer. Ask yourself why again. Try and write down the next answer. And then ask yourself why a third time. Try and take yourself down the levels. Be really precise on this. Somewhere at the bottom, 3 or 4 whys down, will be the actual reason. It won't be the first why. That'll be rubbish. That'll be surface level. Oh, I just want to feel better. Yeah, so does everybody. Why? Oh, and you need to go down those levels. Why do you want to feel better? Oh, I want to feel more confident at work, and I want to feel more confident in my relationships. Okay, cool. But why do you want to feel more confident at work and more confident in your relationships? Oh, well, I've always missed out on opportunities at work, and it's actually hurt me financially. And, my relationships have always been poor, and I've never been able to, hold my own in my own relationship. I always feel like I've been bossed about in relationships. Okay, cool. Well, why? Oh, well, when I was a kid at school, I was bullied and da-da-da. Like, if seriously, take yourself back through those steps. Make it as emotive as possible. I can nearly guarantee you that somewhere down there in the depths of that why will be something painful. Because humans are either moving away from pain or we're moving towards desire. We need both, for sure, to be truly successful. But the moving away from pain will probably be the first reason you decide to go forward. So the amount of effort that you're truly able to put in will be how well did you work out your why. Because when you wake up in the morning and you're supposed to go off and do 40 minutes of fasted cardio and it's 6 o'clock in the morning and it's pissing down with rain, and you open your eyes and you're like, nah, sod this, I'm not doing it. Your why should appear in your mind, and then it is a no-brainer. Out the bed you get, out you go, off you go. Like it becomes there is no yes or no. This is it. This is why I'm doing it. This is why it's important. And you just get up and do it because your why is always with you. Another thing to do is get your why and plaster it all around you. Put it on your screensaver on your phone. Put it on your screensaver on your laptop. Put it on the back of the door so it's the last thing you see before you leave the house. Make your why visible. Visualize it. So now we've got a goal, we've got a plan to get there, and we've got the effort, the why. Brilliant. Now we're on our way. So now what's next? Consistency. Because everybody can do those top 3 for a few days, week, whatever. You've had a day on plan, you've had a week on plan. Whoopee-doo, well done, great. Now you need to go and string 7 days together, 4 weeks together, 6 months together, a year together. Ruthless consistency is the thing that will win the day because it's the immediate thing. You see, like the area where people fail badly. Here's the best example of poor consistency. 5 days of the week really good, on plan, doing the workouts, following the diet plan, all this sort of stuff, and then 2 days of rewarding yourself because you've been so good over the weekend. That is horrific consistency, because then what do you say on Monday morning? Oh, I'll get back on it on Monday. Right, and round the circle you go. You've got to break those inconsistency cycles. Or I can always make it 2 months in and then everything just falls apart. Right, get a handle on that. Understand and break down why your consistency is falling apart at that particular time and plan for it. Or don't, and just keep going around the same circles again and be happy being unhappy, potentially. Your consistency is down to you. It's not down to anybody else. As coaches, we can hold people accountable and keep them consistent, but ultimately, it still comes down to you, your why, and why the hell did you go on this journey? Why do you want to be, that consistent for that amount of time? There are no quick fixes to any of this. If you go out thinking, I'm just going to spend 8 weeks trying to achieve my goal, and then you're going to go back to whatever you were doing before, you've goosed it. It's game over. Like, you just don't bother. If you're going to go off and change your body, your mind, your physique, your opportunities, you need to do it in a way that will become your lifestyle. So then you are super consistent without even having to think about it. It's just thoughts become habits, become behaviors, become your lifestyle, become super consistency. Right? And then it becomes easy. Then you're not having to think about being consistent because it's just what you do. So now we've got a goal. We've got a plan to get there. We've got the effort that you're putting in, and you're putting that effort in consistently. So what would be the last area to really tie all this together? Accountability. At some point on this journey, everybody needs, in my opinion, external accountability. I've been doing this 20 years, and I have seen people be able to hold themselves relatively accountable for a certain amount of time. And then for some reason, you take people up a level and give them external accountability, and everything comes together. You may think you can hold yourself accountable, and maybe you do a good job. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, yeah, no, Andy, I can't hold myself accountable. I'm a 5 days good and a 2 days bad kind of person. Like, that's absolutely me. Well, then you need to get out of that habit. Go and find some external accountability. And that could be a coach. Generally speaking, it can't be a spouse partner. They have another relationship with you. For example, I can't hold Jo, my wife, accountable to her fitness goals. She's my wife. We've been together 23 years. Like, if I tell her and ask her to be accountable to something, there's automatically, understandably, some sort of emotion behind that. So if you think, yeah, my wife holds me accountable, when it really comes down to it, it won't work, because there's another relationship. The person who holds you truly accountable to these goals, physique-based goals, fat loss, strength building, getting on a stage, whatever it might be, it has to be someone external to the rest of your life. Having someone external makes all the difference, because then you'll become part of a team, even if it's with one other person. And when you're in the depths of dieting and you're starting to question, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I change this up? Am I making the progress I think I'm making? You can start to second guess yourself and actually begin to unravel all the progress that you've been making. Whereas I know for certain, when I'm looking in on someone, I'm not emotionally connected to their progress. Essentially, I'm not in their body. I don't know how it feels to be where they are, right? But I can look at the data and I can see what they're telling me, and I can make very clear decisions to help them 2, 3, 4 weeks down the line, so they can just focus on being the best version of them right there and then. It's so much easier. So often we hear people say, I'm going to see how far I can get on my own. Okay, that's fine. But ultimately, truly, my opinion is that's a poor frame of mind, because it's kind of saying, I don't need help. Now, I think everybody should have a degree of time trying to suss this stuff out on their own. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. But it depends how high your goal is. Like, if your goal is to be really, really, really good and a long way away from where you are now, and if, you've been kind of making progress, I can tell you a really good coach coming into your world will make all the difference. And I'm not saying that has to be us. That could be anybody. That could be someone down your local gym. It could be a prep coach. It could be us. It could be anybody. But someone external to you will be able to hold you better accountable. I can tell you one thing. You will only pay for things in 2 ways. We all only ever pay for things, generally speaking, in 2 ways. Certainly this sort of stuff. You either pay with your money or you pay with your time. Now, one of those things you can get back. One of those things you can't. I know very clearly I would far rather speed up a process. Now, it doesn't mean finding a quick fix, but I mean speed up a process rather than lose the time trying to work it out for myself. Once I've lost 6 months trying to figure something out for myself because I'm stubborn-minded, I've lost those 6 months. Those 6 months are more important to me than it costing me a certain amount of money, and then I'll just go back and earn that money back. You've got to think about things that way. How long do you want to be banging your head against a wall just thinking you're going to find the answer, the special diet, the special training program, the special whatever, the special supplement? I can tell you, it ain't out there. It don't exist. It's as simple as these 5 areas. Get a goal, get a plan, put in the effort, be super consistent, and then have some external accountability. So there you go, guys. That's simply what I've put together for today's episode. If you've got questions, be sure to reach out to me on my socials. I'll be happy to engage in conversation and see if I can help any further. For today, ladies and gentlemen, to wrap up, thank you for being here. I've been your host, Andy Naylor. I will catch you on the next episode. Go and have the best day.